little, too late. The National Council of Churches are in their last effort trying to meet Raila to reconcile them with William Ruto in a bid to stop the 20th mega mass action. Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The reason I'm saying it is too little, too late, it is because they were there all along when it all started. And the Azimio leader Raila Odinga, together with all the leadership, have rejected their attempt to unite them with William Samoei Ruto. Do you think Raila did the right thing by rejecting Ruto's call through the clergy to stop the mass action that is coming on 20th? Or do you think they should sit down and talk now? I will tell you the reason why Raila finds it very difficult to accept the rallying call from the clergy. I know talking is the best thing right now for the benefit of the ordinary wananchi. But if you send the clergy and you think that Raila forgets so fast and that Raila will give them an audience, then you will be in rude shock. This is the same clergy that took sides during the campaigns, and they campaigned very openly for William Samoei Ruto, with the portraits of William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua in the holiest of the holy places, in the pulpits. And they said that Raila Odinga was an antichrist and that William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua were and are the men of God, and that is the reason why God allowed them to rule. And they said that God had struck Raila Odinga with a curse because Raila did not want the churches. So right now, the Raila who did not want the churches now is being expected to listen to the church. This is the same clergy that was in Bomas during the presidential declaration by the fake IEBC. And they prayed there, presided over that occasion. They failed to condemn an illegality in the face of it. In 1980s and 90s, bishops and reverends like Bishop Njoya and Ndingi Mwana Anzeki stood high and they were counted because they used to tell Moi in the face that, Mr. President, we respect you, but on this we think you are wrong. But I don't know what happened to our churches, because I have only seen the Catholic Church standing upright when there was a question on the GMO and the LGBTQ and all that. So the same church, after all this, and even recently, they still go to pray with the Ruto, praying for the rains. But they have, taken sides, and they want Raila to listen to them. Do you think it is possible? When Raila Odinga declared the 14-day ultimatum, he was inviting anybody who was interested to come so that they could talk together, they could reason together, just like it is articulated in the Bible in Jeremiah, that come so that we can reason together. No one listened to him. Instead, they condemned him. And I remember certain part of the clergy was telling Raila to leave William Ruto to fix the economy, that he should not talk about the election, that we had put that behind us. That was their rallying call. They did not see the importance of sitting down in a round table of brotherhood and sisters so that people can talk. So right now, they have realized that things are serious, because they had trivialized. They thought this was just another campaign gimmick for 2027. So right now, they're coming back. Do you think, if you are in Raila's shoes, would you allow them to talk to you? Raila Odinga's push for electoral justice and the cost of living to come down is now becoming something that is beyond his hands, because Raila is carrying the weight of the leadership of the Azimio, Martha Karua, Eugene Wamalwa, Oparanya, Kioni, and above all, the weight of the hungry mwananchi, the mwananchi who can't afford 3 meals in a day, the mwananchi who is jobless, the mwananchi who is facing the skyrocketing prices of basic commodities. Just today, the government has increased the cost of fuel. That is the following that is with Raila Amolo Odinga. And they are telling Raila, are you here to joke around or you want us to get justice? So if Raila gets into another talk, he knows very well that he will lose touch with these people. It is beyond Raila. In fact, some people are saying that even if Raila decides to abandon this very holy cause to ensure that we get our country back on track, then they will take it up, they will pick it up, and they will still go for it. Someone was even saying that they can go for the mass action themselves because there is no food. An hungry man is a very hungry man. And this is the reason why, if the clergy thought that it is some usual gimmick where you come and sit down with Raila to play around with him, it is too little, too late, ladies and gentlemen. The government is speaking from both sides of the mouth, and they are blowing hot and cold. Ladies and gentlemen, if someone wants peace, they must come with clean hands. You cannot have a government sending the clergy to try and make peace and tranquility with the Raila Amolo Odinga. Yet when they are in the churches, the campaign podiums, they demonize him and they want to talk very ill of him. They tell him he's a bother, that he wants to rock the government, that all he wants is a handshake. They don't see the deepest reasons why Raila is pushing for this. It is about the people. Because I told you yesterday that Raila can afford all the meals that he wants. Raila can afford to go for medical facilities in UK and in the USA and in Russia and wherever he wants. But he's doing this for you and I. So the government fails to realize, to take cognizance of the fact that this is about the people. So they talk ill on one side, and on the other side, they want peace. Do you think it is possible, ladies and gentlemen? 20th has been declared as the big day, because as you all know, it is happening in Tunisia, it is happening in Zimbabwe, it is happening in South Africa. It is a make or break for Raila Amolo Odinga. You cannot hoodwink Raila Amolo Odinga to chicken out at the 11th hour now, because that is what people are saying. People are asking, what is the end game of all this? If he decides to get into some cheap talks that will not help the common man, talks that will not yield the formation of a proper commission that will give us fair, verifiable electoral justice, then he better reject those talks. And Raila knows very well that this is the precarious situation that he finds himself in. Let me tell you, it is very difficult to be a Raila. It's not very easy. The other day while in Nyanza, he told them in certain adage and proverb that he is the proverbial girl who was sacrificed. There was a lot of drought in certain community, and so the community sat down and the council of elders talked to their gods, and the gods instructed that they must sacrifice one person so that the rains could come, because they had suffered a drought for so long. And one of the ladies just decided that, okay, I will go so that you can sacrifice me to eliminate all the calamities that is befalling our community. And Raila likened himself to that sacrificial lady, and he said that he had bid them goodbye. He said that he's going for this battle. He may come back or he may die in the process. And so he's very ready for this. You cannot go and tell your people goodbye, then at the same time you want to enter into some cheap talks. I'm calling it cheap talks because the government, even if they are calling for dialogue, it is not a serious dialogue. They just want a flippant dialogue to ensure that they pass over the 20th mark, because it is beckoning very fast. There is a lot of tension. They are breathing and their heartbeats can be felt loud. If you want to hear the heartbeat, you go to the social media and see what they are posting. Then you will know that this thing is not a walk in the park for them. It is a thorn in their flesh. Behind the trivial facial facade that they are giving, they are tensed to the core. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that the government is serious. If they were serious, they would give some neutral arbiter, not the people like Ole Sapit who want to lead that cause. Yet they had taken sides. In fact, the relationship between some of those churches and Raila Odinga is very sour. I know we sometimes need talks. We sometimes need people need to talk for peace and tranquility to be achieved. But the arbiter must be a neutral arbiter. And the person who is coming for those talks must come in clean hands. Not insulting you on Sunday in a church, then on Monday they want you to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are Raila Odinga, would you accept this kind of talks? Share with me in the comment section.